Hello there, welcome to the channel, welcome back perhaps, and we are doing another of our little pedal board experiments right now. This time it is to do once again with Fuzz, but this time using two different systems. Now, anybody that has seen my Sustain NV series knows that I put a lot of work into figuring this shit out. And one of the keys was the float, and basically that enabled us to take off the keypad clicking sounds of the contrabass when we want to. It enabled us to take off the harsher tonguing sounds when we wanted to, and it was these things that enabled us to use the superego plus to detect the actual sounds of the note rather than the keypads and the key clicks, which it was picking up as things to be held. So, all well and good there. Those concepts have already been proven, but what we are going to do today is something which is really good fun. We have channel 1 of the float being the sound from the contrabass clarinet, and then going out to the superego plus into the Shields blender. So the sustain that we create with the superego has fuzz on it, and the other channel of the float goes into our signal blender tone bank, which allows us to play around with those fuzzes. We do have a way of doing sustain here, but it is manual. It requires the hold there, and that goes into the hold on the dream sequence. Sorry, goes into the fuzz page Mark II. But we could do the signal blender sound going into the superego. We will get to that. Where we want to start, though, is to actually have them in parallel, something that the MK-V allows us to do. That is how we have it set up right now, with both of these guys running in parallel. Also, worth noting that we have the superego plus set to latch mode, which is it will only collect a sound when I push the button. So, what we're going to do first is we're going to hear how this sounds without any fuzz in the equation. The one loop will have the dry signal, and the other one will have the dry signal until we latch a sound, and then it will hold the sound for us. We have our full range of the contra sample. We'll just give you a blast of that. Sounding as beautiful as ever. And now we're going to hold a note. There we go. I think we need a little bit of this. There we go. It's boosting the dry signal there. We could add the dry signal there, but I mean, let's turn this down really low too, so we can hear everything. There we go. go, we just sampled nothing. Okay, now joy of joys, we have captured the lowest note on the contra there, and let's add the Fender blender. Oh, yes, a torrent of joy. And we probably won't hear it against the fuzz, but whenever there is a sample taken, hold on. There we go, we're hearing it through there. Okay, and now let's add in contrast, here is the goat's head. Oh, what a lovely combination. There we go, just turning the decay down there so we get a fade out rather than an infinite hold. Well, I think that's pretty much proof of concept. Now, beautiful sounds as a bass level, really happy with how that's sounding. Maybe we want to try the Shields blender with the expand off. We are also thinking it would be nice just to like play around a bit with the blender because it's just such a beautiful beautiful sounding thing. It's also worth noticing that the sound that we've got on the blender at the moment is one that was designed purely for the contrabass, not for the hold effect that the superego generates. So that is something that we would do well to benefit. we would benefit well from doing something about. Do we want to hear that one more time with the expand off? I would like to hear the contrast at least. Yeah, and very much digging the sound of the frog, the sound of the frog, the sound of the goat's head there. Okay, let's dive back in and see where this takes us. Oh. You know what? There we go. Cut the mids there. Oh, beautiful. Honestly, that Shields blender is a serious time sink. So you also heard us playing with the octave as we mentioned, and the sag there. So that's also with turning the sag on and off. I'm sorry, the expand on and off. Now that's all sounding very nice. There was an especially nice effect. I'm not sure whether it was something to do with the float that we weren't understanding, or whether it was more to do with the interactions of the overtones. But there was a thing where the goat head fuzz seemed to be like fading in over the superego. I don't think the was it the maybe it's something to do with the volume range, because we have noticed that there is a problem with the contrabass clarinet coming out at different volumes from the samples, like the mic records different ranges of the clarinet at different volumes, which, you know, wouldn't be surprising given the fucking size of the thing, right? But basically, that's something we can probably solve with compression. Compression is definitely something that we are going to be getting on top of in the next little while, figuring out whether we want that before the fuzzes, after the fuzzes, or at the end of the chain, or a combination thereof. But we have one final thing that we want to play with here, and that is putting the signal blender before the superego and seeing what effect that has. So no longer in parallel. We may switch the mode here of the superego. Let's see how things go. But we're okay with the setup there. We currently have the goat's head on. We're going to switch the bank because we've got this all prepared. We have the two in unison here. I'm sorry, the two in series here. And let's begin. Oops. Okay. Let's be really careful with this. It's playing. Okay. Let's just double check that. Okay. Okay, a little bit of a mishap there, but okay, from here, please. Let's see how that sounds. There we go, there's our problem. I am not sure why this one is behaving slightly differently from this one. Sensitivity is all the way up. Can you see? I don't know if you can see, but this one is coming on slightly slower, which is giving us in that fade-in effect. Definitely in the low register. Okay, let's do a comparison when it comes down. Here we go. Do you see how that one came on more slowly? Interesting. Okay, something that we need to have a think about. For now, let's see how the superego does with latching. We need some dry in there as well. There we go. You can hear how there's something going on there. There's something going on there. We will figure this out, but it could be... hold on a second. In this case, I think it's because... No, it's going into this first, and then going through the fuzz, and then going into this. So that's why they're behaving differently this time. Possibly they were behaving the same way before when things were in parallel. Okay, something we need to look into regarding the float. Okay, that's great. And what we want to do now is switch it up so that the superego is in auto mode. And what that means is once we turn it on, it will grasp any sound that comes into it. So there will be the sound of the fuzz bank, because we've got the dry signal up now, but then there will also be the effect that it's producing. Okay, so that's live now, waiting to pick up a signal. It should be anyway. There we go. There we go. Yeah, this is sustaining the solved here. However, it does not seem to be triggering so easily. Let's see how it sounds with the fuzz on. Oh, okay, this is a threshold problem. Have we got the right mode here? Oh dear. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got the right mode. Okay. But for some reason, we're not getting any effect. There we go. Here we go. Yeah, very interesting. Okay, this is a threshold problem. Okay. Okay. I think this goes back to the same problem we were just talking about before about the different volume levels. We're not getting consistent volume levels out of the clarinet, so we're not getting consistent we're not getting a consistent reaction from the superego. Okay, that could be solved with compression before the fuzz, or it could be solved with compression after the fuzz. But the tricky thing is that if we want the float to operate consistently, it would have to be before the float, so before the fuzz. Okay, that's really good, good useful thinking there. Let's try our last little thing that we want to do, which is the good old Fuzz Page Mark II. There we go. That's a very nice note to finish on there. Okay. So that has been very insightful and fun and challenging. So there's clearly some stuff we need to work on with compression before float. Compression right at the beginning of the chain. We might even want compression to be the first thing in the chain. That's very useful to be thinking about. But I think it's fair to say that this is one great solution to good old sustain envy. We have another possible in the dark world, but also it's very interesting to hear these guys in parallel. This has been very interesting and wonderful food for thought. Thank you for sticking around, and I hope this has been as interesting and enjoyable for you as it has been for us. And with that, I hope you have an enjoyable day or rest or whenever it is that you're listening to this. And take care.